Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be listening to me. Today, we shall be discussing the slope of a line given 2 points. Last week, we discussed the slope of a line using the general equation of a line known as slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the intercept. We shall be working on slope given 2 points. What are the 2 points we are talking about? We are talking about the 2 points whereby you have x1 given y. We're talking about x1 given x1, and you have y1, and you have x2, y2. How do you go about it? How do you go about it? So we're going to have an example. Luckily enough, we have a formula that will help us, and the formula is m equals to y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. y2, that is change in y over change in x. Change in y over change in x. This my hand looks like. Okay, so, and we're going to have the first example of that. Let's have example 1. Example 1. If you are given 3, 10, and 7, 2, and you have to find the slope. Something that's very important here is to know the first one is a coordinate and the second one is a coordinate. And what is the meaning of a coordinate? That means for a given value of x, there's a given value of y. So therefore, when you want to do your label, the first thing you need to do is to label your coordinates. So the value here, even before then, you must know this is x, this is y, this is x, this is y. We give them 1 and 2 for us to be able to differentiate between the two. So you must know that this one is x1, while the other one is y1. So where students often get confused is to say this is x1, x2. No. If you know the meaning of a coordinate, you will not label as x1 and x2. It's supposed to be x1 and y1. That is what makes it a coordinate. On your coordinate plane, you have x and y. This is our coordinate plane here. You have y, you have x. So when you have x, for instance, to be 2, and you have y to be 4, that is a coordinate. So on this now, this will produce a point. That is why we call it a coordinate. So we should take note of that. So like I was saying, your labeling must be x1, y1. Why this one will be the second x. Always know the first value is x unless you are told, and otherwise. So this will be your y2. That's the first step, is to label. The first step is to label. And this is Step one, label. Step one, label. Do a labeling. Label your coordinate. Your now to be writing last if label your coordinates. As opposed to you have to do label your coordinates. So the second step is to do what we call plugging. So into that formula Y2, we need to plug in to get, so we can now say M equals to our Y2 here. What is it? We need to get what our Y2 is, which is 2. Our Y2 is 2, that will be 2. Write the subtraction or negative in the formula before going to your Y1, because your Y1 may be negative. So some students mix them up. So let's go to the formula and write the sign there. Then we can now go to our Y1, which is 10, divided by X2. What is our X2? That is why it's so important. You have to know your X2. Yeah, our X2 here is 7. Minus again, we will have that. Our X2 is minus. What is our X1? 3. So what will be the result of this? 2 negative 10. I did this in the first and second, third, and fourth series on this channel. You have 2. I owe somebody 10 because 10 is what has it, that shows I owe it. If there's anybody who doesn't understand that, or your calculator can also give you the answer. You know how to press it to click on your calculator correctly. So this is negative 8 and 7 minus 3. I have 7, I hold 3 because the negative is with the 3. That shows if I have 7 and I hold 3, I will still have 4. So what will be the answer here again? Your calculator can do it, but in case this is negative 8 and positive 4, wherever you have the two signs, they're not the same, they are opposite, the answer will be negative in case of multiplication and division. So 8 divided by 4 becomes 2. That is the slope of that question. Let's see another example before I give you your own work. So let's see example 2. Example 2. Example 2. If I have 5, let me use different colors so that we can see it. If I have 5, comma, negative 2, and negative 2, comma 4. And I want you to obtain the slope. I want you to obtain the slope. So how do you do it? What will be the solution? To do this, do the first thing I told you all the time. The labeling, that's first thing you need to do. This will be your X1. This will be your Y1. This will be your X2, and this will be your Y2. After that, plugging. Like I said at the time, that's the next step. You need to plug in. The next step is plugging. This is labeling. So the next step is to plug in our values. So we can now say M equals to y2 for, write the negative in the formula first. Can you see now here, our y1 carries negative. That's why I always talk about write the negative in the formula. This is 4 minus in the formula or subtraction in the formula. So what about negative 2 now? Write this as negative 2. You can do something, can put the whole thing in parentheses. Yeah. So you can do that. Let me write that too very well. So divided by my y2 is 4. Write the negative in the formula and my y1, and my x2, my x2 is 2. I'm not using my x2 is 2 and my x1 is 5. You can see I write the negative again in it. The first thing is to write the first label. The label is y2. What's my y2 for? Minus y1. Write the minus in the formula, then you can write the minus in number you have. So that will make it easier. And the x2 is 2 minus, or the subtraction in the formula, and x1 is 5. What does it give to us? Whenever you have two negative that become positive, like I told you, if they are not the same, negative, when you are multiplying or you are dividing, or E, you are multiplying negative and negative, so this is 6 divided by negative 3, which equals to, can you see 6 positive, 3 negative, so it becomes negative 2. I told you when they are not the same, you do that. I will give a third example before we leave. That would be when you have a question of coordinates on the coordinate plane. What do you do? That will be the example 3 we're going to have. Example 3, if I have it on a coordinate plane, how do you go about that? I want to have a coordinate plane. For instance, if I have something like this for you, and um, this is my coordinate plane, and this is my y axis, and this is my x axis. So then now I have a line. Anyway, maybe I have a line like this. This is a point. This is a point. I have a point here. Mm-hmm. I have a point here. Um, and from there, try to make a point. Okay, so, yeah. And now, let's do the label. For instance, maybe this is 2, and this is 4. And you have this produced to be 2, 4, and 6. And 6. Also, let me, this is 2, 4, and this place takes 6. That place is 6, and you have to find the slope. How do you go about it? So what you need to do is to read your points. Is to read your points. How do you read your points? Let's see. So on your y-axis and on your x-axis, we're going to read. If you look at it, you can read this place. What do you have here? You can read this place. What do you have here? You can read this bit down here. What do you have? That's what you're going to do. Let me use that color. I use that. What do you have there? What do you have there? What do you have there? What do you have? How to do it. So from here, you can see anyone, you can read any point first. So if I read x1 to be 3, that's this one. And that's place would be, let me put this. So this would be my x1. So now my x1. Use this place as s1. So what do I see there? That's 2, this 4, so that will be 3. The y1 that is traced to that place, you can use the y1 that is traced to this place. Will be anyone you want to read. If you want to read the other one first, which is down here, it's going to be the same thing. So here I have it to be 4. And my x2 will be what I see here, which is 6. And my y2 will be what I see here, which is 2. Then to apply the formula will be easy for us and say y2. So m naught is going to y2 negative in the formula y1 all over x2 6 minus s1 3. This becomes negative 2 all over 3. So this is a fraction. This slope will be fraction. Thank you. That is how far we can see today. Next week, we shall continue. Please tell your friends, your family members to subscribe to Mathematics with Jayee. Thank you. God bless you. If you do this.